If I could tell you what it really feels like, do you think that it would change a thing? Do you think that it would change a thing? You said your name was Juliet, a shotgun wedding you regret, but you're not ready to commit treason against a family set of rules. Your mother hangs above your head like a prison. And I showed up like Romeo to save you from your life, but you just sentenced me to death or exile. And now I'm lying at the altar without you and I'm drinking the vial. If I could tell you what it really feels like, do you think that it would change a thing? Do you think that it would change a thing? So tell me how it's possible to be so unpredictable but keep up such a scripted scene. How did you get so complicated and walk out on me? And maybe when I'm Romeo and Juliet, but when you said forever I took it literally. I never thought you'd be the one smiling on the end of the blade that I bleed. If I could tell you what it really feels like, do you think that it would change a thing? Do you think that it would change a thing? If I was honest, open and not so afraid of commitment, do you think that I could trust again? Or am I just broken? 'Cause these hands are scared to reach out, they're scared to fall down. They're gonna fist strength to break another fall or feel anything at all. And my heart stops at the thought of beating like yours, or being ripped out and kicked to the ground and torn, or feeling anything at all, or feeling anything at all. If I could tell you what it really feels like, do you think that it would change a thing? Do you think that it would change a thing? If I was honest, open and not so afraid of commitment, do you think that I could trust again? Or am I just broken? 'Cause these hands are scared to reach out, they're scared to fall down. They're gonna fist strength to break another fall or feel anything at all. And my heart stops at the thought of beating like yours, or being ripped out and kicked to the ground and torn, or feeling anything at all, or feeling anything at all. If I could tell you what it really feels like, do you think that it would change a thing? Do you think that it would change a thing? You said your name was Juliet, a shotgun wedding you regret, but you're not ready to commit treason against a family set of rules. Your mother hangs above your head like a prison. And I showed up like Romeo to save you from your life, but you just sentenced me to death or exile. And now I'm lying at the
How are we there, guys? And welcome to another episode of the Smashing Crossbar Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, as always, joined by Benno. How are you, buddy?
Not too bad, mate. Aside from all the fucking technical difficulties, we finally got here in the end. But we're not late.
No,
We're not
mate,
late.
Surprisingly, we're friggin' a couple of days early and bang on time.
Oh, yeah, well, to be fair, we're 2 days fucking early.
So, you know, we've caught up with daylight savings pretty well, considering we've the time might be out of whack, but we've brought it 2 days forward for you just to make things a little different. So unfortunately, you won't be available to do it on Wednesday night, so we've brought it forward a couple of days to give you guys obviously the weekend wrap and a little bit of football banter, as Benno likes to call it, Monday Madness.
Monday Madness, yeah. And we apologise for the crap green screening on Robbie's green screen.
That's all right. Speaking of Robbie, mate, welcome, buddy.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. As always, in this way, it almost looks like a rose between two thorns.
Oh, mate, it's the way it's going to be now.
That's exactly it, mate. Exactly right. We had to bring in the referee just to friggin' calm down all the friggin' bloody arguments Benny and I usually have on a friggin' segment of.
He's between us now. He's between us now.
You have to have a little segment of friggin' bloody Robbie's red and yellow cards or some shit like that. You have to
Robbie's Reds. I like it. I like
That's
it.
Could be a goer. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. Before we get into tonight's show, I just want to quickly thank our sponsors, Gabriel Mar, optometrist at Jesmond. Be sure to go check those guys out if you are in the Newcastle area. If you aren't, that's all right. But yeah, if you are down here in Newcastle, be sure to go see those guys for all your eye care needs. It would be muchly appreciated. Tell them myself and Benny sent you. And use a part of the Crossbar Capers, Smashing Crossbar podcast, and they'll hook you up with some discounts. So yeah, big shout out to those guys, muchly appreciated. And other than that, if you did hear the intro, I don't know if you've got it up, Benny, or not, but Save the Humans, big shout out to those guys. I haven't spoken about them in a while. They've got the intro music for us, and they do great things. So if you haven't heard of them before, go check them out on Spotify and all that.
I think there's a command.
I think there is.
Yeah, there we go.
There
I didn't remember it.
There it is. Boom. Be sure to check those guys out. Great music. If you love your old school 90s, Blink 182 and stuff like that, that's pretty much what they like to friggin' go off as a genre. So nice 90s punk. So check them out. Anyway, plenty to talk about. Plenty to skip over. Possibly the friggin' Jets game on the weekend. We'll skip right over that.
We're not skipping over that. You guys did a great disservice to the rest of Australia, and you will fucking stew on it.
Stew on it? Oh, yeah, right. Stew on it, right?
I need to take like the 2.5 minutes because I was streaming FIFA at that point. The 2.5 minutes, fucking from like the 90th minute to the 94th minute, I literally stopped stream. Was like this, looking at the TV like this. And then the goal went in, and then the next 2.5 minutes of my conversation to stream basically sums it up.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to say shit.
You don't.
I'll just replay that back.
Yeah, look, it was a shambles. Big shout out to Shannon. Welcome, mate. Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, Shan?
For the first time, I believe. I don't think I've seen the name there before. Welcome, mate.
I've seen him floating around.
Is that a Plymouth Argyle kit on the left? I have no idea who's on.
He wishes.
You would be.
He
That's
wishes.
That's your kit. The
Is
Josh.
that me?
Yep.
Is that mine? Nah, mate. It's a Dudley Redhead, mate. Dudley Redhead from Northern New South Wales. The Zone Premier League 1, or Premiers, I think we are these days. I think I can't keep up with it now. Been gone a decade, mate. So it's been a while. It's been changed from 2HD to NBN to Anyway, Dudley Redhead, mate. Dudley Redhead. Be sure to check him out, mate. Absolute banging club. As Benny said, look, the Jets game, we're just going to quickly skim over it because at the end of the day, I don't really want to talk about it. It's another shambles, another week where we let 2 points slip, and we're getting to the pointy end now, and almost impossible to sort of gather that we're going to make the finals.
If I air my opinion on it here tonight, it'll be like the debacle that we had about 6 weeks ago where everyone was coming at us.
Yeah.
Because it won't be nice.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. Like, we don't want to be that sort of, podcast, or, again, we are Jets. Ben and I are Jets fans, and it's hard for us to watch each week in, week out a team just, I don't know, it just looks like sometimes they don't want to be in the finals. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say they don't want to be there because obviously they feel like they want to be there because they play good football when they want to. You know, for the first, let's say 60 minutes, they look great, and didn't look like they were going to let City in at all. And unfortunately, we get done again and on a corner off a header in the last minutes of the game, and we concede a goal. And unfortunately, let as I said, let 2 points go, and unfortunately, don't help Adelaide in the ladder to the friggin' premiership plate. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. The big question I've got for you, Benny, is what are your thoughts on the old? I love the fact that in the commentary, it's come out that it looks like Thurgate's on the move. Now, I know we only deal in facts, and so we're not going to sit there and say it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Because we haven't heard anything as of yet. But your thoughts on it, if it is true, and I'm not going to sit there and rattle off who he might be going to or who we think he might be going to or whatever it is, because as I said, it's not fact. But your thoughts if he goes, mate. What are your thoughts if he goes?
Okay, so my personal opinion on this is he would be dumb if he did to go somewhere else in the A-League.
Okay.
For the simple fact that he is a huge cog in the way that we like to play.
Yep.
Without his box-to-box movement this season and last season, like, again, Pappas has converted him to a box-to-box, and it's been a really good thing. Like, he's always moving. In this regard, I sit there and go, if he moves, he makes the same mistake Ugarkovic did. Right? And that's where I sort of sit there and go, right. Ugarkovic was in this position 3-4 seasons ago. Learn from his mistake. Because he went for bigger and better things, and it only fucking bit him in the ass. Right? And he's done the bounce since.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen of Ugarkovic, which is still quite a bit since he left for Jets, he hasn't sort of hit what he had since leaving.
Yeah.
I would be sitting there to Gus, especially at his age as well, going, don't make the same mistake he did. It's Ugarkovic 2.0.
Yeah.
If he does. If it's a move to Europe, fine. I'm fine with that. If it's another A-League side, is it really worth it, especially when you've got a team that's very much built around what Pappas has given him as his role to do?
But do you think you'd, and Shah raises a pretty good point of this in the chat, in a better team, and that's no offense, he would probably get the praise he deserves. So is there a situation where you could see him in another A-League team where not only is he getting the praise, but he's getting the service that he deserves?
Yeah, but it was the same thing with Ugarkovic as well. The smart people sat there and watched Ugarkovic, and we said this multiple times. Ugarkovic does his best work when he's not noticed. And he was very unsung at the Jets. People used to sit there and go, oh, Ugarkovic does fucking nothing. And you sit there and go, are you sure you were watching the same game that we were?
Mm-hmm.
He was very underrated, and I can understand from Ugarkovic's point of view how he felt underappreciated. And I think Gussie's very much the same thing. Gussie's always on the move. He's back forward, but that's what Pappas has got him to do. That's part of the plan. To be he's more box to box, but in that area of becoming that free person for the build.
It's a bit of you can take it a little bit out of Shannon's comment there. Better team, he'd probably get the praise, and obviously a little bit out of Chatty's as well. As if he deserves to go overseas. He's the Jets' best player. I'd hate to see him go, but he deserves to be seen.
100%. But
you
again,
know-
at the same point, there's no reason why he couldn't sign a contract extension with the Jets and have a clause in the contract saying that if an overseas club wants you, we're more than happy to entertain the offers. There's no reason for that. Like, no reason why it can't be done.
I think the biggest one for me is, you know, I don't think he's scored anywhere near enough goals as what he should be scoring. And that's not just bagging him out. That's on the friggin' players around him not giving him the service and the space and that to make him be able to get into that position. You know, his positioning alone, you know what I mean? He's playing a lot more back now than what he was before, you know, being up front.
Yeah.
So it's not so much.
He's got that free roam box to box role, but unfortunately he's not scoring the goals because he has to initiate that part of the game in the build up too early on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like on the halfway line. So he doesn't have it by the time he gets up to the box. We've got blistering wingers that are already up there with Becker as well.
Yeah. So
he sort of sits there and goes, he's got to pick it. He's got to pick where he burns, and he's got to pick where he sort of maybe drops into the top of the box and just sits. But because he's having to start his role so deep, that's why he's not getting up as high. Because he's not that second to last or third to last touch higher up the pitch where he can then move forward to then get into a position where he is able to receive the ball to take the shot for the goal.
Right. Well, yeah. Look. Moving on from that, because as I said, we can sit here and this is where we. This is where the three of us get into sort of trouble because
you asked the logical thinker, and I gave you the logical answer.
I know, but unfortunately, the logical friggin' thinker fucking gives a friggin' 10-hour friggin' answer, and that's unfortunately just the way we are. We get into a topic like that, something as basic as the question that we've just I've just asked, and we're into freaking 12 minutes into the podcast and so forth. But I think for me to end it on that is, I don't think Pappas is the right coach for Thurgate. I think that's just, again, my opinion. And everyone else can have their own opinion on it, but I don't think he's the right coach for Thurgate. Just because of what I've seen since he's been at the club to what we've seen out of Gus. So it'll be an interesting one. I know there are a couple of A-League clubs that are interested in him and have put an offer forward. I know that factually, but time will tell. Time will tell. See what happens. At the end of the day, if he does go, it's another decent player that we've lost. Something that is not uncommon at the Jets, and
it is something that's always frustrating.
Yeah, exactly right. It frustrates us all the time. So what do we got? Fuck me, has daylight savings moved 2 days forward?
But they kept on saying to set the clock back an hour. So we kept on setting the clock back an hour every time it hit 3 a.m. and this is where we got to.
Yeah, didn't you know it's 3 a.m. right now?
No, unfortunately, I've got to do a couple of night shifts over the next couple of days, lads. So I've had to move it forward on the boys. Anyway, so that's pretty much that. We're going to quickly go around the ground.
Not only that, but on Wednesday we do want to watch the Bucket Derby again.
Absolutely, that is on. Yes, not 90 minutes worth at the time.
No, it starts at like the
23rd
minute or something.
I think it's the 23rd minute, and it starts off from a goal kick for Glover.
Yeah. What was the score though? It was 1-0 though, wasn't it?
1-0.
Yeah, it was 1-0.
That was the 18th for the 15th minute that was scored.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shut up, Chris. Shut up, Chris.
Well, what I was going to say, we're going to quickly duck around the grounds now. Wellington Phoenix went down to Melbourne victory 2-1. Saturday afternoon. Central Coast, big win.
Oh, watch that game.
Yeah, played some brilliant football there.
That first half, watching them, that was the Central Coast Mariners we were seeing probably about match day 15, 16. That I was like, shit, if we come up against them in the finals, it's going to be scary. They were dormant there for a couple of weeks, but they have come back with a vengeance. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Brisbane Roar aren't playing the best football, but Jesus Christ, that was a scary
Yeah,
game to
but they've
watch.
also got one of the strongest defenses in the league too,
Massive.
statistically.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot, we'll touch back on that in a sec, mate, in regards to the suspended players and stuff like that, because
I got a bit of info on that.
it crossed our mind
Ooh.
as well as to how that was going to work with the red card on the weekend. Anyway, quickly go through it. 4-1, as we said, the Coast over Brisbane. Sydney versus Western United, 3-3. I tell you what,
Cracker.
That was a cracking game.
Cracking game.
As a neutral, you're just
Yeah.
sitting there. Like, worst part was I started getting a little bit uppity on Twitter and started bagging the shit out of Sydney because, it's Sydney scum. And next thing you know, they just came back with a vengeance. I'm like, it's like they almost hate Corica that much that they just want to sit there and torment him for another week rather than just allowing him to have the nail in the coffin that gets him out of his contract.
yeah, it was an interesting one. It was, as I said, I'm with you there. As a neutral, great game to watch. It was really end to end, and probably worked out the best for, as I said, a neutral in the end. One point each.
And just before we go ahead, Crit, it is a Farmers Unionised coffee or it's nothing, mate.
Yeah, our resident South Australian in the middle.
Yeah, mate. Trust me, I had the South Australian pack when I arrived when we went over there a couple of years ago. Benny and myself and a few of the boys.
Yeah,
and Robbie
I remember it.
Mate. He came with the South Australian special.
I think my response was something along the lines of, "Sorry, mate, I like to drink my coffee hot."
And I told him to get
I don't
the
drink
fuck out
cold
of my
coffee.
state. I told him to get the fuck out of my state.
Well, I've just realised the podcast is now the start of a very good joke.
Oh, mate.
A Victorian, a New South Waleser, and a South Australian walk into a bar.
And who turns around and says, I'm not a convict?
Well, I can proudly turn around and say that I don't have two heads.
Well, that's Tasmanians, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, it's also people from Adelaide that learn how to swim.
Mate, Oaks are the go.
Ooh.
Crit, Oaks are the go. Oaks are the way, mate. Friggin' nice, beautiful taste. Anyway.
Sorry, I'm a purist. Give me a big M.
I thought you said purist.
Perth Glory 2-1 over MacArthur.
Okay, this is another jail-free Perth Glory.
Yep.
If anyone has watched them over the last few weeks, this is why my only danger game coming up for Adelaide United is Perth Glory away.
Mm-hmm.
They are shit scary at home. The Williams brothers have bang on about them last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They are scary good in front of a home crowd. Anyone who goes over there at the moment should be packing themselves.
Absolutely.
That's how Zads wants it, though. Perth is a fortress. It always has been.
It has.
Always has been for him.
So 2-1 Perth again got out of jail there against MacArthur, and then obviously the game between Melbourne City and the Newcastle Jets. 1-1. The red card again pretty soft.
No,
in my opinion.
no, it was there.
We discussed this.
Yep. He's charging at the player.
Yeah.
There was full intent. He studded him on his boot.
And the first one.
First one.
Oh, Jamos.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Jamo. He's the only.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, but it was 2 yellows.
What do you?
Yeah,
what do you call it? Technically
Okay, so-
stomping, because the stud went on the shoe.
Yeah. So
No,
what I think
second
because
one.
what they've downgraded it
Right.
from dangerous to reckless. So
Yeah.
it's a second yellow red. So I watched the replay as well. It looks like he initially pulled out the red card. I think VAR's overturned it and said, "Hey, you may want to check this again." Because was he already on the yellow, or was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was already on the yellow.
No, it was a yellow first. It was always a yellow first. The stupid cameras didn't shoot to it.
Right.
They
So second yellow, red card. So
Yeah.
it's definitely because he got yellow card in the 21st minute.
Yep.
And then the 41st minute, he's gone in and basically started on top of the foot.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow.
Yeah, for me, the first one though, I thought was pretty soft.
But this is Jamison. I mean,
Yeah.
how many times does he want to do it?
Yeah.
It's not the action that generally gets him in trouble. It's his fucking descent.
Exactly.
He does. No, he does. He's got an attitude on him. He's had it for like 2-3 seasons now.
Oh, he does. He does. But again,
You know what it is? He lost that many games on the bloody game of 2 halves that now he's just out with a vengeance.
Anyway, we're gonna quickly freaking breeze over next week's round.
Hang on. there was one other game that you've missed out there, buddy.
Oh yeah, shit.
The
sorry.
Adelaide game.
Yeah, I was meant to come back. I was coming back to that last. My apologies. That's why I
okay.
missed it first. Sorry.
All good.
I was going to move on from it because I totally forgot about it. Western Sydney Wanderers is the other game there. Adelaide United 3-2 over Western Sydney Wanderers, where I think
Big win.
no, not really. I think friggin' Western Sydney friggin' took it to them. To be fair,
No, they did.
I think Adelaide should have friggin' come away with that a lot cleaner than what they did. And yeah, Western Sydney they look. I won't say they look fantastic and they look great, but they definitely held their own. That was for sure in the fixture. What were your thoughts on it, Robbie?
Look, it's two things that really shocked the living daylights out of me in that game. Warland, who basically had only scored one goal in his A-League career, basically does a double.
Mm.
And it's both from either a short corner or a corner, which, even Marco Rudan said, they're normally the set piece specialists or the stop ball specialists. So the fact that we were able to smash them, twice in that, and then Hero's tap in was superb. It felt dirty as shit when Yangi scores one back on us in the 44th minute. It's sort of like your prodigal son coming back to knife you.
Sounds like every Jets player.
And then obviously Marcelo comes in with the 60th minute to make it 2-3. So it was a high intensity game. Look, the one thing I'm never going to doubt Adelaide United on is their current scoring ability. It's not coming from one or two people. You can put a blocker on Goodwin with a 2 or 3 man press, but at the end of the day, then you've got Koff coming in, you've got Halloran coming in, you've got Hero, or then you've got someone coming off the bench like Nestor or Elegage. So the shooting potential at the moment from our boys are limitless.
It's 2018 Jets, mate. Goals are coming from all over the park.
Legitimate. So at the moment, teams are trying to line up against us, and they just don't know who to take. Our biggest issue at the moment is our backline. It's just absolutely hurting us. We've had a different lineup pretty much every week this season. Obviously we've had a few injuries, so that's something that we're still trying to work on. But the fact that we're still able to get out of the pinch. I can't even remember last time we had a clean sheet for a game. But I'd rather having a couple of scrappy goals come through and us getting the end result than going scoreless to a game and getting pumped 4-0.
Yeah. For me, the foul count was the big one for me. Adelaide just, as I said, and I think that they struggled a bit to contain the Western Sydney's midfield, and just the fouls, 18 fouls.
It's been our issue all season, and that's why we probably got one of the highest yellow counts in the league. Yeah,
4 yellow cards, and 4
we've
yellow
had
cards there too, and crazy.
I think we've had 5 players this season have an accumulation of 5 card suspension. So it's discipline. It's definitely something that we've got to work
5 anymore.
on.
It's 8.
It's 8 now, yeah. So it's massive. Let's touch on the subject. Marcelo, 90+3 minute. Obviously, if we look at the series of events, Nestor Irakunda's got a clean run going through. Next thing you know, starts getting the old, grabbing from Neuenhoff. Nestor takes a bit of an issue with it, pushes Neuenhoff twice, instigates the melee, mass confrontation. Marcelo then puts his arm around the guy's head in a headlock. Let's not sugarcoat this. That's what it is. He has headlocked player number 1, which, if memory serves me, was Irukunda. Next thing you know, Lockie Barr's seen it. He's run 40 meters. Yes, he has. And he's there to basically try and break it up and get rid of Marcelo from Nestor Irukunda. Now, I would expect that from any team, that the players are going to try and protect their own as long as they don't do anything that's going to cause further tension. Before Lockie Barr can do anything, Marcelo's got, again, his arm around another player and has got him in another headlock. I am sorry, Marco. If you think that is acceptable on a football field, then you need to get the fuck off of it.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, your player has assaulted another player, and your bullshit excuse at the end of that game does not fly. You need to take a seriously long, hard look at what you're considering acceptable from your players as their conduct on the field, because all that's going to do is lead to more disgraceful acts like that on the pitch. So take a long, hard look at yourself and understand that that's not acceptable.
And there we go. There we go. So that rounds out the week. Weekend of football there. Some good games there. Some interesting ones, and some games we just don't want to talk about. So before we get into the midweek fixture, the rematch, obviously Melbourne City, Melbourne Victory. We'll quickly skim over next week's rounds. Western United versus Central Coast Mariners. Adelaide United at home to Sydney FC. Brisbane Roar up in Brisbane against the Jets. Macarthur Western Sydney Wanderers. Should be a cracking game, that one. Melbourne Victory, Perth Glory. Now that'll be an interesting game, I think. I think that'll be probably one of the games of the round, I think. Two teams that are struggling and absolutely scraping at the barrel to do whatever they can to sort of either resurrect their season, or literally just avoid the spoon. And then Melbourne City against Wellington Phoenix. So that's pretty much the weekend's games there. So if you're around and about, I'm sure Robbie will be at Adelaide versus Sydney FC. Yes,
I'll be driving away.
there we go. And if anyone else, friggin' obviously in Melbourne and stuff like that, I know friggin' Benny and so forth are part of the Western Service crew and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll be jumping at the bit to touch up the coast for us.
Yep.
Few injuries leading into the derby in a couple of weeks. And then we'll quickly dissect this midweek game against Melbourne Victory, Melbourne City versus Melbourne Victory. As we said, what was it? 1-0. 1-0 with about 20 odd minutes gone. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very, very interesting game to see. The biggest one for me is to see how City pulls up after, playing, short turnaround for them. And, very interesting. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I could see Melbourne Victory getting an equaliser back early and then making it a very interesting second half, to be fair. Who was it? Elliot said something about the suspended player. Obviously, Robbie and I were talking about it earlier today in regards to, obviously, Wilco being able to play. Obviously, he started the match there and so forth. So how does that work?
Yeah, I was about to say, how does that work, Robbie?
What's that, sorry?
So we got suspended, this week? Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Can he... he got suspended on Sunday. Can he still play in that game on Wednesday?
I'm going to give you the most referee response I can possibly give you. That would be up to the league, and that would be up to the board to determine the situation. Now, there's going to be arguments on 2 points.
Yep.
One, we're playing round 8.
Yeah.
Right? So at the time of round 8, in this situation and the sanction happening, he would have been eligible to play the initial game.
Yep.
However, on the other argument, it is a similar situation to if they were playing in the Champions League, Asian Champions Cup, or if they were playing in a secondary league or situation like that,
he could play.
He'd be able to play. So again, I think that is a decision and the discussion that's better left off to those in power to determine the right course of action. Now,
because he started the game, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did. Yes.
So even if he is red carded, would he not have to kit up, get on the pitch, and then be immediately subbed?
Well, this is the other concern, right? Then if you look at it that way, Nani was in that game.
And they don't have Nani because he's out injured.
Correct.
Yeah. Well,
so
and then that would have to be a substitution technically then too.
Well, this is the thing. What allowances are they going to accept and confirm as being suitable for this game?
I mean, it may also depend on what the red card was for. Would that
Look-
come into it as well? Whether it was something that
Not
was
really.
No.
The sanctions are
dangerous,
sanctions.
yeah, whether it be dangerous play or it's a fucking
Yeah.
dissent.
It could be dissent. It could be dangerous play. It could be accumulation of yellow cards. It doesn't matter. A red card's a red card. You've got to serve a suspension.
See, for me, pardon me, I was always under the thought that, and this is only going from like club level, right? So not professional level, club level. If the game gets suspended in a local game for us, and it's 25 minutes or less into the game, the game's fully replayed.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
So it doesn't start at 23 minutes or 25 minutes at 1-0. It goes back to 0-0.
And I completely concur. However, I think what the thing we need to consider in this circumstance is the reason why the game was suspended in the first place.
Yeah.
All right. If you were to reset at 0-0 or at 0-0, you're disadvantaging the team that was basically, let's put it bluntly here, assaulted.
Yeah.
So you are then further penalising the team that's already been penalised 1-0 up. You know, we got to look at the full situation here. This is unprecedented circumstances surrounding this game in the first place. I don't think we've ever had a situation like this in a professional league. Like local league, absolutely. Normally, if a situation would like that has happened, the match would be considered abandoned and 3 points would be given to the team that was abused.
Yeah. I mean, the other side of the coin is as well. We know that game, the game's going to have sparks and there's going to be tackles flying in everywhere.
All right, it's
going to be on a knife's edge from the beginning.
It's going to be an absolute shit fest, and to be quite honest with you, I can't wait to watch it. I would hate to be the referee in that game.
Yeah, look, they've played each other since, and there was no issues in the last one. I can't see there being any dramas in this fixture happening now. Obviously, you know they've got the sanctions of, you know, Melbourne Victory virtually only being able to have members there and all this sort of shit. So I can't see there being any issues. For me, I would have just been happy for it to stay at 1-0 and the whole game be played. You know what I mean? 90 minutes and it's 1-0 as an aggregate. You know what I mean? Like I would be punishing Victory that way, going, well, we were 20 minutes in or whatever it is. You know, I know it's not really a punishment because they get 20 minutes to, you know, more to play and score the equaliser. But I don't know. The whole factor of playing, you know, essentially a 70-minute game, roughly. I don't know. I'm not for it. I just think they should have just played the whole game again and just left it at 1-0. 1-0 aggregate and play the 90 minutes. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's a lot of issues, and I'm glad I'm not making the call. Because
I'm glad I'm not in charge.
Nanny's out for them, so obviously that's one player that they've got to try and replace. You know, Wilkinson is a completely different fucking ball game. For me, I hope he plays. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see why he should be suffered. If anything, they're probably sitting there going, fucking, yeah, right, we'll use this as the fucking red card game. You know, it's only 70 minutes of football, we're 1-0 up. We'll park the bus, happy days. So I wouldn't be giving him that satisfaction. I'd be just going, no, well, he got suspended and he can see out a full game like everyone else. Because I'm sure if someone else freaking got red carded and said, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So this would be a perfect game for Jemison to sit out on.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing already as well. It's already disadvantaging, you know, City and Melbourne Victory for the next game because they've got 4 or 5 days less recovery than the rest of the league for the next round.
And that's it. They're playing Wellington on
Saturday, isn't it?
Or Saturday or whatever it is, which, you know, isn't going to be an overly ridiculously hard game for them. So,
but then again, Wellington have sort of given it to them every time they've gone up against them this year.
Yeah,
that is true. Welcome, Matty. Anyway, mate. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that.
You might want to look at chat.
What's that?
Because it ain't room.
What chat? Where? I can't see anything.
Luke.
No, other chat.
What chat?
The chat. The stream chat.
The stream chat.
I'm looking at it. Matty's last comment was
no, Lukey's.
Daniel Wilmering, another Western Sydney Wanderer youth player. Yeah.
Has agreed terms to join Newcastle Jets next season in the pursuit of regular first team ball. I have the article here. It was released at 9:09 p.m. tonight.
And our former gloveman, which is now second choice clubman for Wanderers, is looking at exiting as well, which is Daniel Margush.
There you
I
go.
like Margush.
He's always been one
I
of those
rate
ones
Margush.
that he's just on the cusp.
Yeah.
All he needs is that one more opportunity
Mm.
to seal his name, and I reckon he'll be all right. Because he played for us a few times when we had
Mm-hmm.
a few injuries on our books. I reckon that would have been the Paul Izzo days as well. I don't really think he was here for when Joe Gauchi came onto the scene.
Nah, yeah, he was before Gauchi.
Yeah, he was. So it would have been Paul Izzo days.
But yeah, that is not rumour, that is published
Fact. We are
That
now
is now
dealing
published
with facts.
fact.
Well, fact of what?
Well, it's a fact. We only deal in fact.
Oh, well, this bloke's coming in. The way
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about it was the friggin' obviously his old mate's coming in, or Gus Thurgate's been friggin'
No, Daniel Wilmering's coming into the Jets next season. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Whoop-de-doo. Another friggin' bloke trying to friggin' bloody make it.
Just Jets doing fucking
Anyway,
typical
you
Jet
know what I mean?
signings.
I'm sick and tired of friggin' seeing all this. Again, no disrespect to him. I'm sure he's a great bloke and everything else, and couldn't give a shit if he friggin' is an absolute talent. I'm just sick and tired of friggin' all the youth coming into the Jets. Either produce your own youth,
Which we can do.
which we can do, and friggin' don't play them anyway. We need decent seniority. You know what I mean? Like, O'Neill's great, but he's freaking been injured for most of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to dive into it because the Jets, honestly, this season have just shit me to tears. And anyway,
And by the likes of signings like that, it's going to shit me to tears next year as well.
yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know. Anyway,
It's same old, basically.
yeah, it's it. Pretty much the same old shit every year. There's just no decency. You know what I mean? There's just no signing that just goes,
There's no ambition.
thank you very much. And I'm not talking about a superstar. I'm not talking about an X factor. I'm not talking about a international spot. I'm talking about somebody where you can literally sit there and just go, thank God. Someone fresh who's friggin' done great things at wherever and, you know, has decided to come for the right reasons. Not because he's chasing first team football or not because he's friggin' struggling. You know, he doesn't get on with the other coach, so obviously you look for an easy way out to find another team. I don't know. I just want a bloke that wants to come here. You know what I mean? I'd love to sit down with Brendan O'Neill and really find out what got him here.
Then-
What made him come to Newcastle?
You guys need to start looking at what we're doing in ours. Stop worrying about people coming to you. Start building that youth development that's going to get players wanting to come to you from the 16, 17. And Chad, that's one of the greatest comments I think I've seen on the stream tonight. We get tears in our membership packs.
We fucking do.
No, we need to get
Fantastic.
fucking scarves back so we got something to wipe our tears away with.
I was about to say that's the thing. We get tears in our freaking membership. We've got nothing to fucking soak them up with.
Yeah, because they don't give us a fucking scarf anymore.
Oh mate, it's fucking yeah. Anyway, that's just.
But again, if that's what they're calling a statement of intent for next season,
yeah,
it's
Oh, boy,
going to be
no
the same
better.
as this season. It's going to be the same as the fucking season before.
yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
guys, you're always welcome at Adelaide United.
Oh,
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
You can have me tears. Anyway, friggin', what was I going to say? Obviously, not much has changed at the top. We'll get off the A League now. Melbourne City third, Adelaide second, the Coast third, Western Sydney fourth, Wellington fifth, Sydney sixth, seventh is Perth, eighth is Newcastle, Western United is ninth, Macarthur 10th, Victory off the bottom in 11th, and Brisbane down there now in 12th spot, which is a fucking shame because they do not deserve to be there.
Can we just talk about the ladder though? Right,
Yep.
just quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
When have you seen a season this close?
I haven't.
All right. It is astronomical, and that's what I think Simon Hill was saying on the weekend. He's spoken to a few players, and they've never seen a season like this.
No.
You look at the difference between 12th and 6th at the moment is 5 points.
Yeah.
All right. You look at the difference between, say 5th place to 1st place. Yeah, okay, there's a bit more of a gap. There's 11 points there, but there is so much movement in this league
Mhm.
that I think that last week before the finals, we are seriously going to sit down here and look like that crazy ass meme from was it Community or no, not Community, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's got all the pins and the freaking
Yeah.
string. It's just I am loving this because yes, we don't have Pro, yes, we don't have Rel, but we've got this, man. We've got teams at the moment vying for that 6th spot to be able to play finals.
You know what it
And
is?
it's phenomenal.
You know what it is?
They wanna play
Everybody
in
everybody from 5th to 12th has been consistently shit.
Sydney? I don't think so. I think it's just been
No, they've all
consistent,
had consistent patches of fucking dropping off a cliff.
We did too.
Yeah, everybody has. That's
It's
why
not-
it's so tight, because as one's coming fucking down, the other one's climbing up next to them.
And that's the biggest thing. It is literally that consistently shit. Is because you think about it, from 7th to 11th have all won 7 games,
Yeah.
True.
right? So it's
And we're in round what?
22.
22.
7 of 22. Come on. For
Yeah.
fifth place, 7 out of 22.
Absolutely woeful. It's just anyone can beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the top teams are doing a lot more winning than the rest, and it's a shambles. But anyway, it is what it is. I'll put this to all the Newey fans in the chat. Just a simple yes and no from you guys. I'd love to get your opinion on it. Considering that the Brisbane Roar are sitting 12th, we are sitting 8th. I personally don't think Brisbane Roar should be sitting bottom. I think they play absolutely great football and are just getting shafted every week. Just not doing the simple things. That's where they're getting unstuck.
Yeah, they're having a rough run.
Do the Jets beat Brisbane in Brisbane on the weekend? Jets are their bogey side. We have usually no issues beating them up there. But in the chat, what are your thoughts? Do we win on Saturday? Noopy's gone no.
Well, while you guys are doing that, here's a laugh for you. You guys beat Brisbane. We beat Sydney FC, and every other team draws or loses in that round. You guys move up to 6.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
Hashtag forever 7th.
Absolutely. It's already seen it in the chat. No, we'll lose.
Can't have that. No, I agree with Noops. And the only reason that I'm going to say no, we're not going to win is because the last time I said it when we played Brisbane in Brisbane, we won.
Oh,
So I'm pessimistically optimistic.
Or is it optimistically pessimistic?
In the same way that I didn't go Sunday, because if I went to Amy Park and went to the fucking toilet, we would have conceded. If I can't go to the toilet in Amy Park, we can't concede.
There we go.
Well, you did. So what if you can see? What if you went to the toilet after the game?
No. So what would have happened is, mate, I would have gone to the toilet 2 minutes before the end of the first half, and we'd have fucking conceded. Either that, or I'd have gotten back late to the second half, and they'd have already scored.
Or you bring a piss bucket.
Or I just don't go to the toilet. I just don't drink.
Anyway, we're gonna jump off the A League. So anyway, it is what it is. I can't see us beating Brisbane in Brisbane. Anyway, we'll move on. Topic this week, and we'll run this through till obviously 10 p.m. So about 15 minutes. We'll touch on this. I'm sure this could go for nearly an hour on its own. We are going to talk about managerial mayhem. That is the 2022-2023 season. 13 managers have been sacked since the start of the season. The first one being Scott Parker from Bournemouth all the way back in August. And obviously the latest one being Brendan Rodgers, I suppose, is in a couple of hours. Graham Potter, same day from Leicester. So Brendan Rodgers from Leicester and Graham Potter from Chelsea are the two latest ones. There's been plenty in there in between all that. Thomas Tuchel from Chelsea was a big loss for me. I don't think he done enough. I don't think he should have been sacked. But anyway, that's the story. Graham Potter didn't get sacked from Brighton. He left on his own accord.
Same thing. Ralph. What's his name?
Hassan Hoodie.
Nah, what's the young one that's at, was it Bayern? Nagelsmann.
Oh God, Brian. Yeah. Sorry, we're talking
Nagelsmann.
So Tuchel. So Bruno Lage from Wolves. Again, I probably should have kept his job, but anyway, won't go down that road. What else we got? Friggin' Steven Gerrard obviously left Villa. Hussein Shuti, which I just stated before, from Southampton. Frank Lampard left Everton all the way back in January. Jesse Marsh from Leeds. Nathan Jones from Southampton. 2 managers in a couple of months there. That's pretty disappointing. Patrick Vieira left Crystal Palace, which I think was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thought he was doing pretty good job.
You're
there,
doing all right.
considering friggin' he's got literally no budget and fucking no talent. So doing all right there, as far as I'm concerned. Antonio Conte, obviously last week from Tottenham Hotspur.
Was that really a sacking, or was that a forced? Okay, just shut up. We'll let you go. All right.
We'll put it this
Press
way.
conference. His press conference said it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're not going to sack me, I'll get myself sacked.
yep.
Yeah, it was an interesting one there. I think out of the 13 managers, he's probably the happiest out of the lot. To get out of there. So Coniflow Games toilet habit can change fate. There you go. Let's talk about the Toon beating Man U this morning. Yes, Chad. Let's talk about the Toon. Hey, Lukey. Rough trot. I know I'm struggling as a Liverpool fan, but United, well, that's an interesting.
Okay, so here's a question: how long till Klopp gets the Klopp?
Klopp won't get sacked.
He won't get sacked.
Klopp won't get sacked. No, he won't get sacked. He's got roughly 2 years, I think.
They'll run him
Still
out.
left on this.
They'll run him out.
Next season, and then I believe the following season is it, or it could be this season and next season. Don't quote me on it.
He'll move on his own terms.
Absolutely, it's roughly 2 years. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He won't leave. I still think he's doing great things at the club. From everyone sitting there looking at it, going, "Oh my God, we're struggling at the moment. We can't beat these teams. We can't beat shit," and everything else. It's off the field, I think, as much as it is on the field, that he's doing great things. Our youth system hasn't looked this good in a fucking long time. We've made a fuckload of money off our youth at the moment, and that's all because of him. And the chances that he's giving some of our youth talent, whether it be 2 to 3 games, is enough. Where he's pretty much found out that you give him 2 or 3 games and it's enough to make good dollars. So it's as bad as it is on the field that we're not getting the performance, and I'm happy to do a topic on this at some point, not just on Liverpool, but obviously in regards to some of the teams that are struggling. Your Chelsea's, your Manchester Uniteds and Liverpools and so forth that are struggling at the top at the moment. But I can't see Klopp getting the arse, and that's all I'm going to say on that one. So no, I don't think he's going to get the boot. I definitely see Tottenham going through another couple of managers before that happens, and maybe Chelsea as well. So anyway,
Tottenham at the moment, and for the past 10 years, have been the classic definition of a fucking tin pot club.
They are literally the ones who will shoot themselves in the foot and then call the police and try and stay.
That's typical Daniel Levy though.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Graham Potter. All right, as a Chelsea fan, I still don't understand why they got rid of Tomo in the first place. As I said,
wasn't the right move.
The biggest rumor was apparently they wanted him on the WhatsApp with the owners and basically going through every decision he was making for them to approve or disapprove. Yeah. And at that point in time, from what I've been made aware, or from what the rumors were, was that he basically told them to go stick it up their ass. Because if you want me to manage your team, let me manage it. If I've made a mistake, then I'll fall on it. But at this stage, at least let me do my fucking job.
Didn't I say Did I not say that to you, Josh? They wanted a yes man.
Yeah. So, and you now look at what's happened. Now, you look at the situation of his points per match, right? Yep. Potter didn't actually do too bad for Chelsea, considering what he was doing for Brighton. Now, at Brighton, he had 134 matches between May 2019 up until September 2022. He had 1.28 points per match at Brighton. All right. For Chelsea, he had 31 matches, and his points per match was 1.42.
Yeah, the problem lies there is fucking $100 million in budget difference. Well, that's the problem. Yeah, that's what kills a top coach.
You have a situation where you're given all this money and they say, yeah, you can buy this player, you can buy this player, you can buy this player. But at the end of the day, if you have a look at his history as a player, I mean, what was the biggest club he played for?
Hang on a minute. Did they not just pay like 200 million in the fucking transfer
window.
window in January?
Massive.
Yeah, correct.
So now you've now got a player, and you've now got a coach who's going to come in, or a manager who's going to come in, who's got these overpaid, pompous players
Yep.
who have no clue how to be able to mould. I mean, they better do a Ted Lasso, as far as I'm concerned. Get someone over and do a Ted Lasso on the club.
See,
I mean, but it really makes you think though. The 200 million that they spent in signings in January, were they Potter signings or were they Bowley signings?
Well, as you just said before, they were one of the yes men, didn't they?
The biggest problem is, right, and this is I find with the top clubs and finding the right manager, you need the right manager for a top club. If they're a mediocre medium club, you can sort of get away with anybody. You know what I mean? For me, a top club, you don't need. It's not so much a yes man. It's a bloke who can stand up to the fucking owner.
Yep.
And that is 100% what you need at a club. Liverpool, we are lucky with Klopp because he fucking is very much like that. You know, we go off that, and we, you know, for me not being just biased on Liverpool. For me, I think Eddie Howe is a fantastic sign at Newcastle for that because he will not fucking buy this. You know, and especially now that he's got all the money in the world, he won't go out and fucking buy, you know, some bloke for fucking $100 million or whatever it is if he doesn't believe he can make an absolute difference. And I mean, not just a bloke who can come on, oh, you scored an extra fucking 5 goals at our last striker. If he can't come on and absolutely game change, he doesn't want it. He doesn't need him at the club.
Yep.
No.
I'd rather save fucking $100 million and fucking buy 2 youth players or bring 2 youth players through and fucking mold them into the system that way. And I think that's where the issue lies.
How's a long-termer?
Pardon?
How's a long-termer?
Yeah, but even then, yeah, exactly. But like, yes, someone like Brendan Rodgers for me is I believe a great asset at a big club. Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool was fantastic. Like, I've got nothing against Brendan Rodgers. I think he done an absolute great job, and half of that was because he didn't take fucking, the shit from the owners. You know, they would come to him and go, "Oh, we're only going to give you this much." Well, no. If you want me to succeed and you want me to fucking do it, I need this much. You know, and it went both ways. You know, it went that way as in I need money, and then it went in other ways as we want you to sign this player, and then he would have a fucking counteract argument going, I don't need that player.
Yeah,
I don't need to bring in this bloke in because I've got 3 kids here who can do that role, fill that role, and I've got the fucking experienced players in your Henderson and your Milners and stuff like that who can mold them into that. Yeah.
So do you think it's a situation at the moment where managers coming in are too shit scared to do it because they realise that they are a commodity that can be switched over just like that, just like a player?
Absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
And it's purely because they can't. There's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee, and it doesn't take a rocket science to sit there now. And I'm sure your Graham Potters and your Brendan Rodgers are sitting there now going, where do I go now? Like, as in, I've just coached Chelsea. Brendan Rodgers, I've coached fucking Rangers, and I've freaking done.
Wouldn't surprise me if Rodgers goes to Tottenham.
You know what I mean? Like, I think a Brendan Rodgers, a Graham Potter, fucking, you know, I tell you who I'd love to see at freaking bloody Tottenham Hotspur, mate. Freaking Tuchel. Tuchel at Tottenham would be fucking great because he is definitely not a yes man. He's a bloke that friggin' will virtually come in and go, fuck this.
Well, that's the problem though. So Tottenham seems to be in the same situation as Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah,
they're not signing coaches who aren't yes men because that's not what they want.
He won't. They won't bring in Tuchel because fucking obviously Conte's been there, and you know the rivalry between Tuchel and Conte.
Well, that and also the fact that if Tuchel went over to Tottenham, as Chelsea boys, would not be very fucking happy.
I mean, it's easy to tell with Tottenham. Pochettino started as a yes man, then he became very much a non-yes man, and he was very quickly marched out the door.
Yeah, well, that's right. And that's true, Luke. Yes, I literally said it and then went, oh, fuck, I think he's already...
Yeah, it took us a bind now.
Yeah,
there we go. Look, it's an interesting one. I think managers get sacked a lot easier these days than what they fucking should be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, you can't fucking blame a manager. Someone like Brendan Rodgers, yeah, okay, it's probably time for him to go. He'd been there for 4 seasons. Let's just say he came in and dealt with what he couldn't control, which is obviously players from previous manager.
Mm-hmm.
He's had time to friggin' mould his own players and stuff like that. It obviously hasn't worked.
He won an FA Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just not working for whatever reason. Whether it's him or
it's just
players or
sometimes clubs and managers get to a point like that where it's just time.
Oh, absolutely. And Leicester are pretty fucking amicable. Amicable.
They're a pretty amicable side.
They're pretty. Yeah, so I'm sure that was a pretty.
They don't make rash decisions.
Easy going fucking out in there. I think it's more of a mate. Look, we're happy to fill you out for the last remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking bring someone in, and he would have been. Yeah. Look, no worries. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Whatever. And he's very much like that. The biggest issue we've got out of all these coaches departing is the main one where Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City now not only affects obviously the Leicester fans and everything else and how they go for the remainder of the season. It also friggin' could be a repercussion for friggin' obviously Souter at the club, because if someone comes in and they're not a fan, it could spell exit door for him very, very quickly, because at the end of the day, he'll be one of the first to go.
So,
Soon.
Just a heads up, Luke's got some hot stuff on the press. Next manager sacked will be Dudley All-Age coach.
Yep.
And surely Conte will then come to Dudley All Ages.
Right, now,
is there anything you want to say because you're dealing facts?
Absolutely, mate. I know this is obviously a dig because, Manchester United are friggin' getting beat by shit teams and stuff like that. And obviously, they got beat by the Toon or whatever it is. And he's got not much else to say. Unfortunately, we're too good. 6 times champions. I'm just going to leave that there, Luke. 6 times straight all-age A-grade champions. We don't need a coach. We don't have a coach. If Taylor Regan wants to come out and friggin' obviously run us around and so forth, feel free, mate. Just down the road. We'll meet you at the pub. But yeah, no, we don't have a manager, mate. We don't need a manager. So, and Conte can well and truly fuck right off. He wouldn't be accepted at the club. So yeah, we don't need a coach at Dudley, mate. We run the club. It's a fan based club, mate. That's what the Jets should be. Should be run by the fucking fans. We haven't found an owner yet, and that's what we need to do. We need to dig into our pockets and fucking get onto local businesses and become a fucking fan based run club.
Have a chat to the guys who are looking at purchasing Adelaide United now that's fallen through.
Oh, Josh holding on to that Taylor Regan vibe, mate. It's a Dudley thing, mate. That's all. If it wasn't Dudley, I wouldn't have said it.
Hey, even I can admit Taylor Regan is a goat, and anything that you can deal with him in is a thing you want to deal in. So
if you're playing, they won't win 7. Chatty, just to burst your bubble there, mate. 2 trial games, 3 goals, and 2 easy wins, both against friggin' all-age A side competition, and we beat Zone League 2 outfit Cardiff. I think that's...
Congratulations, Chad. His ego has officially not been able to get through the door.
Chatty, what have I told you, mate?
Chatty's just a little upset that I didn't friggin' go there. I was having a little bit of a run there and so forth, but unfortunately, just wasn't.
Wait, hang on. I gotta fix it.
Oh,
I gotta fix it.
Fix what?
Yep. Bow down to
Are we good? Gosh. Are we good now?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
We're about right.
Yeah.
I can't even see it. That's how.
All right, back down in your box.
Oh god. 2 other things I wanted to quickly touch on.
Yeah, go.
Violence in local game.
Yes.
We'll be very quick on this because there's not much we can say, as there's obviously pressing matters and will be handled by the appropriate authorities.
Yeah, we don't need to weigh into this.
No, just one thing. If you're going to go watch your local football, don't be a twat.
Yeah, don't be a fucking dick.
At the end of the day, we're not those football scumbags who,
Right on time, Timmy.
punch on at the AFL, or at the NRL.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we're there to watch the local game. Let's be civil about it. Nothing wrong with a bit of sledging, nothing wrong with a bit of, banter. But you start taking the, physically, get away from our game. Go watch AFL, go watch NRL.
Oh,
You're
that's
welcome
moment,
there.
literally.
And guess what? You have a lot less Channel 9, news reports about it.
Yeah.
So, just I know since COVID has subsided a little bit and we've come back out into the civil world. Let's remember it is civil. And there's just no need for it. Not in this game. It's a beautiful game for a reason. So pull your heads in if you are going. And the other thing was I actually had a question given to me before the kickoff, which was from Shine then. His question was, we know that Rudan's excuse for Marcelo's outburst was a bit weak, but for you, Robbie, as a ref, what is the worst excuse you've ever heard? So apart from the one I discussed a couple of weeks ago, which was but I won the ball, which
That's
I've always
fucking
said doesn't
everywhere.
matter. Doesn't matter. So what? You shoot someone and you won the ball, it means you can get away scot-free with murder? No. It was an under-14s game.
Oh, wow.
Half time. The mums walked up to me and gone, ref, that ball sounds really hard. Are you sure that you've got that pumped up right? I've gone, ma'am, I can guarantee you the ball's pumped at 11 psi, which is within regulation. And I'm quite sure that's not why your son's getting pumped 5-0 and walked off.
Oh. Buddy, Robbie with a bit of banter back. Fucking look at it.
Right, you got to have a bit of fun with it. But yeah, that's probably the funnest one I've ever had. So, look, you get them in every game. There's always one who will try and pull the wool over your eyes, or they'll look at you absolutely shocked when they've just punched another player that you've not only seen it, but you're now pulling out a red card for it. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, you are getting red carded. Yes, there is a match report being put in.
It's one of those moments of don't piss on my neck and tell me it's raining.
Yeah, and then even better is when you get into the club rooms afterwards, and you have like coaches or officials walk up to you and go, "So the match report, how many weeks do you reckon he's going to get?" I don't know. It's up to the match review panel. Well, he didn't strike him that hard, did he?
Oh, they're just kids. Oh, they're just kids.
This way, his nose was this way, and his face was that way. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty.
Are you with HBA?
Welcome, Timmy. Another stream ending and another welcome.
You just have like
even the time zone change doesn't help him.
Hello, we're sorry, mate. We're trying, all right.
We love you, Timmy.
Just fucked him. We even fucking changed the day for him. Like fucking hell.
Timmy's just like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Reeves has scored 3 games in a row. Jets should sign him. Absolutely. We'd love to see him back. I'm hoping we see Roy O'Donovan back in the club next year. Why not? What was I going to say? Friggin', that is pretty much the end of the show. Unfortunately, another disappointing season for the Jets women. Again, we touched on it last week, but a big shout out to all those retiring girls for the club. Hopefully you guys enjoy your retirement, and thank you for everything that you, again, tried to do for the club. You know what I mean? Obviously, those girls, Tara Andrews and Claire especially, 2 absolute, champion girls who just, gave absolutely everything for the club. Unfortunately, we got a bit sidetracked in trying to play finals football in the last couple of years, and thought we'd just sort of sit back and play for wooden spoons. But they gave everything they could onto the pitch, and just unfortunately it just wasn't good enough.
You cannot bake a good cake without a good.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
You're gonna put some positive on it.
I like it.
No, I just like text comment. If there's 3 consistent constants in life, it's deaths, taxes, and Josh saying so on and so forth at least once per stream.
He's not wrong.
Wow.
Yep, you've now officially been.
You know what that means, man? That means you got bad habits.
Oh well, that is what it is.
We've all got them.
What it is.
We've all got them.
Tex, wait till you're fucking 34 and got 2 kids and you're married and you're fucking struggling to bloody pay rent and friggin' live life, my friend. It's all good while you live at home under your mum's roof.
Oh, shots
Oh,
fired.
shit. Oh,
Shots fired.
Yeah, that's right.
VAR review. Yep, that's definite red card.
Give him the cheese.
Give him the cheese. Nah,
The
friggin'.
scent.
I'm glad someone's sitting there friggin' counting all the comments. I'm 44, no kids, not married.
So Josh has got you there. He was an idiot.
He didn't say he wasn't. He didn't say he
He
wasn't.
didn't say anything about not living with mums.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
Anyway, friggin'. Nah.
Now he's just taking the
Love you.
piss.
Luke's
Love you,
just
Aiden.
dabbing.
We love you,
Luke is
Aiden.
just dabbing. Yeah,
Love you, Ado. Sorry.
fantastic.
Anyway, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, friggin'.
You
We
can
thank
take
everyone
it.
for jumping.
Oh,
Shit, sake.
Chad has just destroyed you.
Just from his balls, from his wife's hand, people. Oh, wow. Wow, Chatty.
Wow, Chatty.
Wow.
Chad just destroyed him.
Wow.
Robbie, you're meant to be the fucking referee here.
Oh, let's play on. Advantage.
Stop, he's already dead.
Advantage.
Oh.
This just turned into a Smashing Josh podcast. Oh, I'm loving this.
I've got
At least we know the lads can take it, and they
yeah.
they like to give it back.
Oh, I had a comment there, Chatty, but I'll just keep my fucking mouth shut.
Chad's up 1-0. Difference is he won't concede that lead.
Hang on, is this?
You're not wearing a gold shirt by any chance, are you, Chad? If you are, fucking take it off.
Anyway.
Josh be sick next week. Noopy. Oh, you can't not with Noopy. Noopy only ever does zingers. But he's hit the post. No, he hasn't hit the post. He smashed the crossbar.
Come on, mate. Look, it is what it is. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because fucking at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't want to see. I want to keep the viewers happy, and I'd hate to see him fuck off and only be sitting here bloody streaming with 2 viewers. So we've got 9 in the chat at the moment. So at the end of the day, is there anything else? Is there anything else, guys?
Back.
There's 9 guys in the chat.
Serious. Right. Let's bring it back.
Here we go. I've got a simple question for you. Let's see how you go with this one. Which club has won the Oceania Champions League? The Oceania Champions League for 7 consecutive seasons from 2010 to 2016.
Ooh.
Coming soon to a league near you.
So hang on. Is this club Oceania?
Mm-hmm.
Team Wellington? No, team fucking Team Wellington.
Auckland?
Or whatever they're called. Team Wellington or Team Auckland.
No,
or
be
whatever
Team
they're fucking
Auckland.
called.
Yeah, coming to a competition near you.
Yeah, that's why I said Team Auckland.
Auckland City.
Auckland City.
Auckland City is the winner. Only here for Robbie and Ben
Thanks, Chad.
of the all age A grade.
Hey, I'm feeling all right today, mate.
Yeah,
I'm
he
feeling
hasn't
all
had
right.
one
No. Look. I'm not the fucking skinhead anymore.
How's it going,
It
Chatty?
might be coming back.
Hang on. Are you having a dig at the follically challenged here there, Ben?
What?
The follically challenged.
I am follically challenged.
How's Barnsley going, Chatty? How's the season going? It started obviously. So how you travelling, mate? How you travelling? Careful. Anyway, there was a question actually I was going to ask. Well, we've got fucking 9 blokes in here, so 9 people I should say, not blokes. If there's any girls in here, if there's any girls in here, keep your fucking language down, you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, for fuck's sakes.
If you don't like it, there's the fucking door. Anyway, I was going to say something before, and I've totally what's that? Yeah. Oh my god.
Shut up, Crit.
If we're all into freaking jokes and banter, hey Benny, have you freaking sorted out your name all right on the fucking flight coming up?
I have.
Very, very good.
I have.
You will start your chin follicles growth.
Crit knows that. Yeah, it's because I mentioned bald. And Crit's just as bald as what Robbie is.
Hey,
Yet.
I shave this, all right? I still can have hair around here. I just choose not to.
I'm the same.
Wow. Seriously, Chad, you haven't started yet. I thought you started. Okay. Anyway. I'll be at Groove in the Move that day. Taking your cow out for a walk that day, are you, mate?
Mate, real Jets fans would be at the Coast game.
So this is what it's like to win a game.
Doesn't matter whether you win or lose, mate. It's against
win
it's
a game.
against the fucking Coast. It doesn't matter.
Win a game, we'll let you know when we win one, Robbie. Been what? It's been a rough fucking year, mate.
Yeah, it's a long time between drinks.
It's taking its toll right now. We can hear.
Oh, the 15th. That's next weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
On the Saturday, I might come watch that. Anyway, friggin', we've got 9 people in here. Friggin', is there anything else that we can quickly breeze over and touch on before? Oh, yes, there is. Love to get your thoughts, guys, on the Australian women's kit. Got launched today.
Oh,
Thoughts?
Oh
on
my god.
the home kit, fucking banging.
Yes, mint.
Absolute banging. It's got a bit of zazz and flair with a little bit of retro, old school Australian logo and shit like that, which I think's fucking great.
Mm-hmm. The away kit.
Not a fan.
Yeah, the away kit's a bit special, but
Yeah, the
Although
away
I
kit's
do
a bit
have
of a
to
miss.
say, they've dropped the training jacket,
Mm.
and the blue one is mint. I'm very keen on that. I also have to give huge props to the Ferns. The New Zealand black kit is fucking sexy. It is fire. They've done such a solid job with that one. But I will say this, between Adidas and Nike, Adidas have killed it with their kits for this year. The Deutschland, or the German women's kit, is probably my favorite, and that's not just German heritage bias. But I have to say, between Adidas and Nike have gone really basic, like really, really basic. If you have a look at the full line of the Women's World Cup kits,
is the German women's one the green one?
No, it's a black one. It's a really, really interesting kit. The German one, and have a look at the Japan's one.
Japan always do good ones.
Oh, this one is gorgeous, man. It's got like this salmon coloring to it, and normally I'm a bit hesitant wearing pink just because of anytime I have a bit of sun, I get red as shit. But the Japan
black with the
kit,
red. The black with the red.
Question. I did have it saved on my phone along with all my memes.
I'm on their website now.
While they're quickly doing that, we just want to thank everyone for jumping in tonight's stream. We do appreciate it. As I said, nothing beats a freaking good chat and a bit of banter in the chat. It's all fun and games at the end of the day, unless you bring someone's mum into it.
So this was one Sam's modelling there.
Yeah, that's the away. That's the away kit.
Yeah, that one is tidy, and
that's
then you
the
have the Japan one there. Well, hang on, let's see if I can get it without the.
Pull it back.
Yeah, I can't show it, but it's like this. It's got like a purple goes into sort of this pink salmon with a white cloud. It's just like Adidas have actually put some thought into theirs, whereas most of the kits for Nike, they've just gone with a basic. Here's the cut. We'll change the color for you, and that's about as much as you're getting. Obviously, for your your Australia and New Zealand, they've gone a bit special because obviously we're the host nations.
Yeah, that's the Japan women's one. So where it's been green screened out, it's like a light purple.
It is tidy. It is really, really tidy.
Only it wasn't 90% chroma. Shut up, Crit.
But
anyway.
Yeah, look, I'm excited for the Women's World Cup. The other thing I will just say, they are still looking for volunteers for the Women's World Cup. So if you are interested in not only just being a part of probably the biggest football cup that we'll ever see in our time in our shores, then please jump on the FIFA website and apply. I've done it myself for South Australia. I've applied for us, so I'm really hoping by the end of this month we'll know. But yeah, look, the more the merrier.
What do you guys got going on in South Australia?
Well, we've got 5 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got 5 games in Hindmarsh.
Oh, I thought they'd fucking just left these guys out.
No, because I actually wanted to see what the proper pitch looks like, rather than something that's half bogged because it's pissed down for the last, 72 hours, or the fact that they're not going to get mugged by one of the taxi drivers.
Well, they wouldn't be going there for a national second division.
Easy. There's fucking palm trees on the coast. Fucking
And sauce bottles and cannons.
And the CF3 derby.
No,
Oh, no, you can have the concrete fucking trophy. We don't want it.
Do you hear Rob?
You can have it.
Were you fucking? Oh fuck! You missed it, Benny. Fucking bloody Robbie, friggin' Laurie talking about the fucking.
No, I heard Laurie talk about it. You told me.
To ask Crumb's response, I went over to London. I've stayed with an East End family for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I came back with a full-blown British accent. And there is still a part of it that pops up anytime I'm drunk or get a little bit rowdy. So, yeah, that and...
He's the same as me!
Fucking hate it.
When you're tired, when you're drunk, or when you're angry.
Yep. It's either that or I grew up with Greeks and Italians, and for some unknown reason, I hang around with them for too long, and I start mirroring it. I hate it because it makes me sound bad, but yep. When it comes to the Pommy accent, it does pop out.
Yes, you were saying, Josh.
Very good. What was I going to say? Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there. We do thank everyone for jumping on. And obviously giving up your time and talking a bit of football and a bit of banter, as we said before, muchly appreciated. Again, Benno, if you just want to whack up there, friggin' big shout out to our major sponsor, Gabriel Mar Optometrist. Be sure to go check out those guys for all your eye care needs. It is muchly appreciated. If you are in the Newcastle area, they do great things there in all your eye care. The eye care specialists over there at Jesmond. So be sure to go see those guys. If you haven't, as we said, mentioned at the start of the show as well, if you have not heard Save the Humans, they do our intro music. Be sure to go check those guys on Spotify and so forth. Always coming out with some new content, live gigs and that all around Australia and everything. So be sure to check them guys out. They do some great things as well. But yeah, anyway, big shout out to Benny. Cheers again, mate.
Always a pleasure.
No worries, mate. Enjoy the week that is.
All day week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks again, mate.
All good, and be sure to watch us on Friday night. Hopefully, stick it at Sydney FC. I'll be on the drums as always. If you do want to see more of my random bullshit, then I will be able to be followed on Twitter at RobDogs87.
Absolutely, go over and give him some shit for me.
It's good for a fucking laugh.
It is.
I posted some absolute brilliant shit on Western Sydney Wanderers last week, and I'm so glad my boys didn't make me eat my words.
Other than that, guys, we will be back next week for another episode of the Smashing Crossbar podcast. Enjoy your Easter long weekend. Hope you guys get plenty of chockies India. And obviously, again, enjoy the long weekend and the short weeks for some. Not so much for me, considering I'm working 3 of the 4 public holidays. Anyway, enjoy the week and enjoy the football wherever you may be watching it, whether it be local football or the A-League, women's game, etc. Be sure to go check it out. It is, good to give back, put it that way. Anyway, we'll catch you guys next week. Enjoy, and as always, Benno,
We hate Coast Scum.
Coast Scum.
I've got it on the button. You didn't have to.
Oh, I couldn't.
No, you won't hear it.
Welcome
They will.
to my pain. You do this every week, and I'd never hear it, and I'm like waiting for the prompt.
You're waiting for it, yeah.
That's all right. We'll have to get Robbie's. We have to make a new one anyway.
Yeah, we will. No worries, guys. Take it easy. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.
Bye.